Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. Is Hunter x Hunter too random? I remember watching Hunter x Hunter analysis videos and hearing someone compliment the story for not having a linear plot. They praised the story's ability to roam around without a solid goal in mind. At the time, I agreed with the point. But looking back now, I've realized that this point can easily swing the opposite direction and be used as a negative against the story. If you don't know, Hunter x Hunter's arcs don't really follow a logical order. After the Hunter exam, the characters go to rescue Killua in the Zoldyck family arc. Then the main duo goes to train in the Heaven's Arena arc. Then they deal with Kurapika's problems in the York New City arc. Then the main duo goes to Greed Island. And then they deal with the Chimera Ants. And then there's an election. While there's some sort of reasoning as to why the characters go into each arc, there's no goal that the characters are constantly pursuing. The order of the arcs could be shuffled to some degree. I could argue that this is a problem because the story's too random. While I may be interested in the characters, I'm not interested in the plot because there's no end goal. And in the case that I'm not interested in the characters, then there's nothing to keep me engaged with the story. Additionally, Gon said that his goal was to find his father and to become the best hunter, but most of his actions in the plot don't seem to lead him down either of those paths. There are other interesting arguments that I've heard that could be argued either way. A quick one is Bleach's backgrounds. The first argument I heard from people is that it was a sign of Kubo's declining health or laziness. But recently, I've heard the argument that his lack of backgrounds in the manga allows the reader to focus on the characters and their facial expressions. It is Kubo removing what is unnecessary from the specific scene. This has been backed up by the fact that he's still drawing great backgrounds in the final arc, like Silburn or Volvelt. The next one is a little different. It includes Bleach, One Piece, JoJo, Demon Slayer, and Kingdom. Bleach has often been accused of copying its own arc when Soul Society and Hueco Mundo are compared. The argument is that it's a sign of laziness or a lack of creativity. Maybe I haven't watched enough videos, but I rarely or never hear the same criticisms being targeted at One Piece, JoJo, Demon Slayer, or Kingdom. Several One Piece arcs have the formula of the crew going to a new island, being welcomed by the islanders or exploring it, finding a boss causing trouble on the island, and then defeating that boss and saving the islanders. Arlong Park, Alabasta, Skypiea, Dressrosa, and Wano all have this formula to some degree. Every single JoJo arc after part 3 is just back-to-back stand battles with very little story in between. Most Demon Slayer arcs, starting from Mount Nadagumo, have a formula of the trio going to a new location to fight a demon with some Hashiras. Then most of the arc is made of the battle. This arc also gives character development to the Hashiras fighting in the arc. In Kingdom, nearly every arc is a war battle that might introduce new generals. Again, maybe I just haven't seen the specific video essays criticizing these traits in these stories, but it could also be that people simply don't aim the same criticism towards these stories. But then again, there's also a reversed argument. I actually have two different videos that praise formulas to a degree. The first is The Power of an Effective Formula, where I use Demon Slayer, Kingdom, and JoJo, and the second is How to Add a New Arc, where I sort of discuss formulas using Yu Yu Hakusho, Kenshin, and Bleach. Going back to Bleach, like I said, there are several people who criticize two arcs for being too similar because it's a sign of laziness, but I've also recently seen arguments being made that praise the similarities because they serve as foil arcs. Like foil characters, they are similar, but their slight differences magnify certain qualities that the author wants you to notice. Examples are Rukia being forced to leave versus Orihime choosing to leave, Ichigo going to save Rukia versus Ichigo going to fight, and the enemies using reason versus the enemies using instinct. The last one I have is about Naruto's side characters. A lot of people have argued that their lower amount of screen time is a problem because they're being wasted, but I have a video arguing that the amount of screen time they got was enough because they completed their character arcs and poetic journeys in the story, and for them to be completed characters with such a frugal amount of screen time shows a clinical degree of effectiveness. The video I argued this in was Rock Lee is a complete character. So why did I bring this up? My conclusion is that when it comes to writing, almost any detail can be argued in a positive or negative light. It just depends on the bias or perspective of the critic making the argument. I actually had some polls for my subscribers, and these were the results. There's also a hint of hypocrisy and standing in the anime community, but that's something I've already tackled before and is not the focus of this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.